Carolina that. But, they just catch you on a bad day. You wasn't on your A game, and that's that. I think that certain losses can end up benefiting you exponentially. I think when you look at the Los Angeles Rams, you see how ticked off Matthew Stafford was from the way that he performed with those couple of turnovers and what have you. They still had an opportunity to win the game. It just didn't happen. I think it's an aberration, and I still think they're the team to beat in the NFC right now.
What do you think? Damien Woody joins us now, too, by the way, here on First Take. Hi, D. Wood.
How you doing?
Which team are you most confident in right now in the NFC?
I'm going to go off the beaten path. I'm going to go to the Green Bay Packers. I think that performance on Thanksgiving said a lot for me as far as Jordan Love and how Jordan Love, this time of year, usually that's when he starts kind of elevating himself. Usually the first half of the season is kind of Jekyll and Hyde, but I think Jordan Love has been playing absolutely fantastic football. 19 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. I mean, you look at the thing I was most encouraged about that game on Thanksgiving, I thought his wide receivers really came to play for him. Yeah. Because the wide receivers, what they've been known for, dropping the football. I thought the wide receivers really made some outstanding plays in that game, big-time plays in that game, and we know what the Green Bay Packers are going to bring on the defensive side of the football, led by Michael Parsons, who's a finisher. So they have a finisher on defense. The quarterback has been playing outstanding, and the plus of all of that is the wide receivers are coming through for Jordan Love. If they get all those things working for it, Green Bay's going to be a very scary team in the NFC.
Jordan Love as the best QBR in the second half of the season since he started as the starter there in Green Bay. Go ahead.
Yeah, I want to say Green Bay, but those receivers is still a little.
You're still a little hung up on?
Yeah,
okay.
I wouldn't, and another person that I'm a little hung up on, but I'm gonna still go with the team, is the Seattle Seahawks.
I like them too.
And the reason why is tough defenses are now trending.
Right.
As you know more than anybody, Mr. Woody, is in this time, this is where the real teams kind of separate themselves in November, December, and January. Well, what Seattle has shown us is they're capable of stopping or halting or yielding any team, right? Good offense, you have a good pass, okay, cool, we'll defend that. Hey, we need to find ways to get sacks to get after the quarterback, we'll do that, right? Now, the thing that is still the liability here is Sam Darnold. And that's the thing that is going to be held up. You know what's so funny, or the unspoken truth about this is, there's only one position in all of sports that cannot be a liability. That's the quarterback position. The quarterback position in all of sports is always supposed to be the asset. You go to basketball, point guard, he could be okay, all right? You go to baseball, you can have a pitcher, you got multiple of those guys, right? You go to any other position on football, you D-tackle, you can compensate for that. But one thing you can't compensate for is a quarterback that puts you at risk. When I look at the Seattle Seahawks, they have a defense that can win you a championship. But can their quarterback really give you enough to get you over that hump? And that's the biggest question.
And to me, it's like, the Rams is kryptonite. We
Yeah.
saw what happened in the playoffs last year.
Yep.
We saw this year where he threw, 3 interceptions?
Four.
4 interceptions. And so to me, that's the biggest question with Sam Darnold. Can he literally get over the Rams?
And you're going to have to see them.
D. Wood,
Well,
Eagles?
There's
Nothing?
Sam
ahead.
Darnold's also a question mark. Sam Darnold's a question mark. I get that. But also McDonald, even though I like him a great deal. Why? Because we're talking about McVay, who you're comparing him to. You got a guy that's been to 2 Super Bowls already in his first 8 seasons and won a Super Bowl championship. He's been in the playoffs 6 times in his 8 years. Sean McVay is one hell of a coach, and we know that. And the combination of him and Matthew Stafford is not something that can be ignored. So I'd pay attention to that as well, plus the Rams defense and their ability to get to the quarterback. When it comes to the Eagles, I know that a lot of people expected me to say the Eagles. You can't. How can you speak highly about the Eagles right now at this particular moment in time with the nonsense that's been going on with them on both sides of the ball and with their offensive coordinator and arguably their head coach? There's no reason to believe in the Eagles as being the elite team in the NFC right now based on what we're seeing.
Yeah, listen, I agree. I look at the Eagles. First of all, Jalen Hurts is a winner. There's no question about that. He's shown that, throughout his career that he can win at the highest of levels. But when I look at the Philadelphia Eagles, particularly on the offense, they don't do anything to challenge a defense. They don't do anything to make a defense think. That's the one thing as an offense, what you want to do to a defense. You want a defense to communicate, to think, because when you're doing that, you're playing slower. They just line up and just run what they run. And it's almost an arrogance to the way that the Philadelphia Eagles play offense because they're literally saying to you, we're better than you and we're just going to run where we run. Well, guess what? You're not, because their offensive line isn't as good as it was last year, and their elementary schemes don't confuse anyone. And so when you have that going for you, and we saw the Chicago Bears go into Lincoln Financial Field and absolutely bully the Philadelphia Eagles. When was the last time we've seen the Philadelphia Eagles get bullied?
They beat them at their own game.
They beat them at their own game.
And their house.
They rushed for almost 300 yards against the Philadelphia Eagles. So for me, I just look at Philly. I have a lot more questions than answers with them.
Go on, you chuckling. What are you laughing about?
Oh, here we go.
What's he laughing about?
Okay.
I'm just saying, look, when I make my takes, it's always Cam hating. Cam bitter. Cam's the guy that wanted to be what this particular individual. It's like, no. When you have an expectation as high as we all do for the teams like the Philadelphia Eagles, with teams like the Detroit Lions, and when they fall short of that,
right,
and you call it out, you're a hater, or are you a realist? Get yourself together over there, Shay. You straight?
I like choked on my.
It's all right. We gonna pray for you. Yeah, all right? She happy because her Bears. You know what I'm saying?
That's why she acted out.
That's what it was.
I have been living in
bliss.
Yeah, in the last 24 hours.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since my Bears actually looked this good.
But those insufficiencies for Philly has been wowing because they haven't won. Over the last 2 weeks, we said it. A couple weeks ago, it was like, yo, it's a ticking time bomb. That was the phrase.
Right.
It's a ticking time bomb, the fact that you can't win the games that you typically win. All right? Now, everybody's pointing the finger. What is the issue? But it comes down to this question. What does the Philadelphia Eagles do offensively? They have zero identity. Zero identity. That was a tongue twister, but they don't have it.
Right. Stephen A., final word. Eagles, anything to add? They're not good.
Eagles could turn it around. But they need to, because if not, they're going to go home early. They just don't look very good right now. And I think that when you look at Green Bay, Chicago, we obviously can't ignore them, L.A. and Seattle, that's a given. But you got to throw the Cowboys into the mix now, because it's entirely plausible that the Cowboys could catch them.
That's right.
For the NFC East crown.
That's right. All right, let's get to our DraftKings Cover 3 parlay. We've got 3 picks for tonight's Monday Night Football game. Damian, you first. Going with Drake May rushing for at least 20 yards against the Giants. Why you like it?
Yeah, I mean, listen, you talk about this Patriots offense. The left side of their offensive line, they got 2 rookies over there, both of them injured. So you're going to have to think that Drake May, who already utilizes his legs, scrambling and stuff like that, he's going to be doing a lot more with a couple pieces missing on the offensive line.
Okay, Stephen A. Stephon Diggs to have 5 or more receptions. Why?
Because he's playing against the New York Giants, that's why. Why should I expect anything less? He's got Drake May throwing him the football. They're obviously still playing for a top seed within the conference, so the road to the Super Bowl will have to come through Foxborough. And on top of it all, he's playing in the New York Giants. Why would I think otherwise?
Okay, and I'm going to go with Jackson Dart, anytime touchdown. I think this is going to be a rushing touchdown. He's had 7 so far this season. He had 2 against my Bears. I remember it well. Plus, he's been out the last 2 games. I expect Jackson Dart to be aggressive here. So an anytime TD tonight. Plus, Mike Kafka now is in there at the helm. They don't have Brian Dable anymore. You know who Mike Kafka played underneath? He was the 3rd string for one Michael Vick. He likes to run the football into the end zone. Learned that firsthand. So I'm going to go Jackson Dart here, anytime touchdown, and I think it's going to be a rushing touchdown. So to recap, Drake May to have at least 20 rushing yards, Stephon Diggs to grab 5 or more passes, and Jackson Dart anytime touchdown. A $10 bet wins you $120. Head over to the DraftKings Sportsbook app to find our Cover 3 parlay and make some money here. Coming up on First Take, someone has to win the AFC North. Does anyone here believe a team from that division could actually be a factor when the playoffs truly start? We'll discuss.